Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and here it is, my answers to my Q&A video. I would grab a drink if I were you, because this may get a little lengthy. So if you hear a clunking coming from the corner of the room, when my girlfriend moved in a few months back, we put the tortoises in this corner. So one of them is very hyper and he's always running in circles, and sometimes he'll hit the glass, so you might hear clunk, clunk, clunk. Just so you know, everything's alright. Got a lot of questions. Thank you everyone for your questions, and thanks again to the 3,000 subscribers plus. I think we're about like 3,700 now. I did this video to, you know, just shoot the shit with everyone who wanted to ask anything, and you know, since I figured I had so many new subscribers, maybe they wanted to kind of get to know me a bit. So here we go. First question. I got my laptop here so I can read the questions. From Poopy's Kills, or Poopy Skills. Hey Mike, here's my question. In 9th grade, I really liked this girl who was just into retro gaming as I was. Her birthday came up, and the broke, shy, virgin, dipshit 15-year-old I was, I decided it would be a great idea to give her a ton of my old games, consoles, and accessories that I still played, I might add. I ended up giving her SNES, SNES Junior, 3 controllers, 10 games, an N64 controllers, and 5 games, and a near mint, this one really rips me up, a near mint Sega CDX with 2 6-button controllers and 10 Genesis games. She led me on until the end of the year, the last day of school, and we never spoke again besides the occasional hello. So here's my question. On a scale from 1 to over 9,000, I guess that's a Dragon Ball Z reference, how much do you think I regret giving her all that? I've missed my CDX pretty badly these past 6 years. I'd put that pretty high up there. I mean, I've sold a lot of things over the years and then bought them back. So you could always, you know, down the line when money's a little easier, maybe have a little bit more of expendable cash, buy this stuff back and just take it as a lesson learned, hopefully. If I had a CDX and a spare one or something, I would mail it to you, buddy, but I don't even have one, so. But thank you for the question. Joseph Steele, hey, tell me the story of the drunkest you've ever gotten. I'm pretty drunk right now, and fuck you, I'm Irish, subscribed. I'm pretty sure Joseph Steele had made this comment in the discussion on the channel, not on the video itself, so I asked him if he could just please, you know, put it in the video so I can read them one by one. Then I got another comment below that from Slade Blade. Reminder of the question about what's the drunkest you've ever gotten. So I guess he was reminding me about Joseph Steele. So I'll answer Joseph Steele's first. Funny how someone else chimed in to remind. So tell me the stories of the drunkest you've ever gotten. I'm not a big drinker. I made a joke, you know, in my previous GameStop video, which is what Joe is referring to, where I said I'm not Irish, I don't really drink, but I can fuck up a meatball hero, because I'm Italian, American. So, one of the first times I got drunk, I had a buddy who was bartending down the block over here, and we drove over there, me and my friend Zhang Kui, he was Chinese, and we get in there and he's just feeding us drinks, and I'm drinking tequila. Don't ask me why, I don't know, I don't really like alcohol. I think the taste of it's kind of disgusting. So I must have had like, I think it was like 12 tequila shots. I don't really remember. It's been many years. I was underage, so I was maybe 19. I was still working at GameStop because that's where I met Zhang. So anyhow, we drink. He almost gets into a fight with someone because some guy thinks we're hitting on his girlfriend who's the bartender. Excuse me. Crazy shit. We leave, stumble down the block. He finds on the floor an old desktop computer, but the ones that used to be flat, not the ones that would stand up like a tower, the ones that you put your monitor on. Throws it, I have no idea why, in the middle of the street. We start laughing. A car comes, runs it over, the thing goes bang bang, like bounces up in the fucking air. It was like insane. I thought we like wrecked this guy's car when he got in trouble. I guess he just ran it over and didn't know what the fuck he hit. It was like 2 in the morning and he just drove home. The next day we walked back to get my car because I couldn't drive back. I couldn't drive home. And I puked in that parking lot and gave them every ounce of liquor back that they had sold me. So I'm not a drinker. It's not my thing. Maybe one drink gets me tipsy and 2 drinks, and I'm like kind of drunk. So it's really not my bag. And just like I said, the taste to me is off-putting. But I do like whiskey sours. So like if I'm hanging out at a wedding or something, maybe I'll have a whiskey sour, but it's really rare. Okay, so Slade Blade. Thank you for reminding me of the first question, but what is the funniest thing to happen to you dealing with video games? Example, a friend throwing a controller or breaking the TV. Luckily I've never had anything crazy like that. I did break and I mentioned this in a story previously. I was playing Monster Madness with my friend Jessica on the 360, and I think we got up to the grandmother boss who has the cats that surround her as a shield, and we just died over and over and over. I got so mad I punched the chair, and the arm of the chair, it was like a rolling desk chair, broke off. And I tend to do that. I tend to like punch myself in the leg or like hit the arm of the chair I'm sitting on, and kind of go like, motherfucker. So that's it. I've never thrown so, I kind of think to myself, I paid for this. Why would I want to break something that's mine? It doesn't really make much sense. But yeah, so I know a lot of people do break their stuff and throw their controllers. The Pirate Gamer Boy 12. How big is your Sega Genesis or Sega CD collection? I own every American official release on the Sega CD. Most of them are complete in box. Some are just boxed. Some are in jewel cases, which is manuals or just jewel cases. But I own every one, and I do own some of the Good Deal Games releases and like the homebrews and stuff that came out. And I had a small hand in helping Good Deal Games get Giant Mnemonic and the Smurfs out there. And then something happened with the rights, and he couldn't sell them anymore, I don't think. But if you look in the Smurfs booklet, my name is in the booklet. Oh, it's like a paper printout booklet. Do you have things like renovation, products, titles, etc.? Yes, I have them all. So I have like renovation was like Wolfchild, was it? Yeah, I think so. I remember Wolf, whatever, the guy with the blonde hair. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I always found the games to be sort of weird and obscure, which I liked. And then he said the Genesis combination with the Sega CD is his favorite console, so he's just curious, and thank you for doing this. Thank you for asking the question. It's also my favorite, console. My friend Case of Glass congratulates me and says he's proud of me. He remembers when I had 300 subs and he was one of my first. His question is, thank you, Addo, by the way, very kind of you. What Nintendo developed games do I like? I like Earthbound a lot. That was one of my favorite RPGs, so I would throw that in there. I don't really like a lot of the Nintendo IPs, so I haven't gotten a Nintendo console since the GameCube, and I sold that, and then I bought one back a couple of years ago and then sold that. I'm just not really a fan of their IPs just don't do it for me, and like, I don't like platformers. They tend to have more on like the kiddie side of stuff, which is fine, but I never really got into it after a while. So probably Earthbound, I would say. Jake DW25 asks, number 1, there are a plethora of video games and movies based in New York. What are your favorite of each? Movie-wise, The Warriors is probably my favorite movie that's based in New York. That's in Staten Island. I have a lot of favorite movies, but most of them don't take place in New York, now that I think about it. Video games that based in New York would have to be The Darkness. That was New York, right? It was either that or Chicago. I think it was New York. The Darkness was a comic book series that got turned into a video game series that I love. And the first game was amazing, the second game was very good. I based one of my tattoos on it. If you look, there's a Darkling picture in the art for the game, and it looks a lot like this. We just tweaked it out and made it different. So The Darkness, hands down, would be my favorite game that takes place in New York, and the movie would be The Warriors. Excuse me. What's up with me today? In case you're wondering why Jake is asking that, I live in New York. Secondly, he asked, what is your opinion is an absolute must-see when visiting New York? I haven't been to a ton of the, tourist type attractions. I really like Staten Island. Excuse me, I said Staten Island twice. I said it about the Warriors too, I think. Coney Island. The Warriors took place in Coney Island. I really like Coney Island. It's a little dingy, but it's not like some tour. It's not like a like Statue of Liberty type thing. I've never been to really anything like that. Manhattan's really cool when the tree's up in Christmas time, you know. And like, what else? The pier. What's that pier where the body exhibit is? That's really cool. You hear the clunking? That's Mario. He's crazy. Love your videos. I like to watch them on my lunch break. Keep them coming if you want. Well, thank you, Jake. I appreciate you watching and for the question as well. Luke Dornbush asks, would you ever be interested in podcasting? I had done a few videos years back. Kinda, I think, when I first started on YouTube, roughly, with Israel Pacheco, who else? Keithy Huntington, Sonic Lopsided, who was called the Sega Saturn guy back then, and Sonic Yoda, who is, oh shit, he's gonna kick my ass for not remembering his name. The Sega, Lewis Clark, but I can't think of the name of his channel right now for some reason. Sorry, Lewis. I did a podcast with them years ago, and I think we called it 3 Segas and an Izzy because we all had Sega in the name of our YouTube channels, except Israel Pacheco. So we talked about random shit, games and movies and things, and I had a lot of fun. We never uploaded it to like iTunes or Android or anything like that, or Google Play, but it was fun. You know, I mean, I don't have a ton of time, so I try to like just make videos for fun when the mood strikes at this point. So to be like tied down to something in terms of like a time, you know, time constraint with podcasting format, probably couldn't do it. Thank you for asking. Sega Scream, congratulations, Mike. What is the absolutely most ridiculously stupid thing you've ever done in your life? It's funny, I don't think I've done anything so absurd that people be like, oh my god, Mike did that, you know. When, little funny side story, I guess, when I would go out on dates with girls, as a joke, I have a cleaver under my bed. So I keep it under my bed for protection, you know. If somebody comes to the house and I can't grab my gun quick enough, I grab my cleaver. This has never happened, thank God. But I would joke around and like pull the cleaver out and stare at them, like just a joke, just to see what they did. I'd be like, I get all Sling Blade-ish in the face, and for the most part they'd laugh and be like, "Oh, get out of here." You know, I mean, I'm sure some people thought it was absurd and thought I was nuts. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just being stupid and just trying to goof around and see, like, if these women got scared that I, you know, they thought I was a nut job, but I was just joking, being an asshole. And then that story got back to an acquaintance, and he ran back and told a friend of mine, and they were like, yeah, we know, he's a really great guy, he's just joking. So, like, it was just, that was kind of stupid, I guess. Could have gotten the cops called on me, or they could have, like, stabbed me, I don't know. Nick T. Wolf, first question. If you woke up and were a woman, what would you do? Just kidding. Okay, here's the real question, but you could answer the other one. Honestly, I think I'd be so in shock if I woke up a woman, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do, to be honest. If you were given $2 billion, but can only spend $1,000 on it for yourself and give the rest to a charity, which charities would you give it to? I don't know. You know what it is? A lot of like the disease stuff, they say like cancer already has a cure, but it's so profitable to like not cure it, but to, you know, prolong it and just buy time with people. So I don't even know. I mean, probably something for kids, maybe like a St. Jude's type of thing. Pet things, not what is it, PETA? Not PETA, like not like a crazy group. Someone who actually is a homegrown, you know, they take in animals, a shelter, something like that. Last Hope Animal Shelter, maybe that. Also, if you were to get another pet, what would it be? I'd probably get a dog at this point. I mean, I have the 2 tortoises, I have Pork Chop, who's a turtle. They all hang out. Sometimes, you know, I'll intermingle them. But I'd probably get a dog. Beth really loves dogs. I love dogs too. I loved Stella. Stella was the best. She was like a dog. She'd greet me at the door and come up to the table and talk to me and steal my food and beg for food. I mean, she was very vocal and animated. I'd probably go for a smallish to mediumish dog because Beth's always had dogs, and you know, I think she misses having one, and I just love animals in general, so that's fine. A dog would be cool. Thanks, Nick. Pat's Retro Rewind, my buddy Pat. Congrats on the subs. Keep up the good work. I will think of a question and get back to you. Oh, okay. I'll be thinking, but a friend of mine wanted to ask why it burns so badly when he pees. Perhaps he should see a doctor for that. And stop messing with dirty women. Lactobacillus Prime. Congrats on reaching 3,000 subs. It's actually at 3,500 already. Well deserved. Questions. Thank you very much. I guess you couldn't think of a question, but I appreciate the kind words from everyone anyway, so thank you. Whittle Brother, in your own opinion, what is the worst band in the world? I don't really know. I mean, I'm not a fan of country music, so a lot of country music tends to, like, really irk the shit out of me. As for, like, worst band in the world, I saw Melt Banana open up for Tomahawk, and they were pretty weird. Worst band, I don't know. There's a lot of, like, whiny singers I don't like that do, like, rock. I kind of like, do one of those things. Like, the Deftones kind of had to grow on me because that dude's whiny singing shit. But, yeah, I can't really think of, like, the worst band. I try to stay away if I don't like something. What is the worst movie you've ever seen? Some movies are so bad they're good, which I really enjoy. In terms of just a bad movie, I mean, I shut a couple off the other night that I had seen. Usually I'll finish everything, but once you're sitting there like, oh god, this is bad, you tend to just... One was called Rancid, one was called Seven Below, with Ving Rhames and Val Kilmer, and one was called Alice Kills. I just stopped them after like 20-30 minutes. I was like, alright, they're just not going anywhere, they're totally not interesting. What was that one? I have this one Cyberpunk one that's so bad. I can't think of the name. I think it's Australian. Not Necropolis. It was so bad. It was like this insane cyberpunk movie. Then at the end of the movie, like, out of nowhere, a robot bursts out of this dude's chest and just crawls across the floor and the movie ends. It was like, I almost had it. I can't remember. But I'll put it in the description if I remember what it is. That was pretty bad, but it's kind of so bad it was good. Cyberpunk kind of gets a little bit of a, you know, leeway from me. If it's bad, sometimes I still enjoy it, or I like the concept. And he finally asks, what is your worst tattoo you've seen or had to cover up? I actually don't tattoo. My buddy Tom does. He owns Tattoo Frenzy in Lindenhurst, and I just go there a couple days a week and help him out. But worst tattoo I've ever seen? In terms of cover-ups, I mean, I have a cover-up, and I didn't really have much of an option what to do with it. So there's a lot of black, but I should have probably gotten it lasered off and then went over it. But it was kind of scarred up too, so I couldn't really, I didn't know if I could do that because I might have scarred it more. I've seen a lot of horrible tattoos on like Reddit. There's this one dude that says Pussy Destroyer across his lip. People with dicks tattooed on them, and like just really bad, infected, jail type shit. I mean, that's probably where I would go. Bad tattoos on Reddit or shitty tattoos on Reddit. Those are both good choices to see really horrible work. Brandon Froelich says, hey Mike, what's your favorite band and or song? I'm curious. I got a lot of favorite bands, but I'll rattle some of them off. Suicidal Tendencies, Sisters of Mercy, God Lives Underwater, In Excess, Sade, Faith No More. Let's see here. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I got a lot of favorite bands. Sade, Faith No More, Sisters of Mercy, Hypocrisy, Pain, Godflesh. I like Slayer a lot. Trying to like run down the list in my head of that's like the gist. I mean, there might be one or two more I can't think of off the top of my head. I'm trying to look around the room because sometimes I have like posters and things of shit that I like, so I'm trying to recall if any of them are music related, but I don't think so. Yeah, those are like the main ones. I mean, I love Depeche Mode. They're really good. The Cure, The Cult. Now you're not going to like my favorite bands. You're going to just bands I really like. The Cure's probably up there for me though. Rollins band's cool. Black Flag, The Misfits. I love all kinds of Motown, like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Teddy Pendergrass, Al Green, Marvin Gaye. I guess is a little more soul than Motown. Phoenix Splash TV. Check him out. That's my friend Josh. If you're wondering why I'm saying it like that, he has this very distinct voice when he speaks. Congrats, man. My question is, what is your biggest pet peeve in YouTube or gaming or just in general. Keep it strong. Keep going strong, man. Thanks, buddy. Like, I got this. I got this. I got this. It's like a little, you know, I don't know. Tell me a little about the game. Explain why you bought it. Tell me something. I don't know. I also don't like, I don't know if I should name names, but Boogie2988, Francis, he annoys the shit out of me. He's my pet peeve. The dude is like 800 pounds, constantly is upset about being overweight. I don't know if he wants to do anything about it. Says he's going to, says he's losing weight, constantly blames all this crap from his childhood, which is terrible stuff, mind you. And then another video, he'll blend Doritos with Mountain Dew and drink it. It's like after a while, I'm sick of fucking hearing it. It's like, if you can't help yourself in general, forget being, you know, heavy. If you can't help yourself in general, I just don't feel bad for you after a while. You know, there's people like with nothing or dying and they can't help themselves and or disabled, they can't walk, and you're like overeating and I have to feel bad for you. I don't know, like shit like that pisses me off. It's like, get some motivation, self-control, and fucking do it. Or whatever it is. Whatever you gotta do, like, do it! Do it! So, I don't know. That's probably my biggest pet peeve is Boogie2988, and his fucking shitty political views annoy me too. Castra Bay the Solar King, congrats on 3,000 subs, dude. I was wondering, what is your top 3 horror games? And your top 3 horror movies? I'll do movies first. Exorcist 1, Exorcist 3, Jacob's Ladder. Those are my 3 favorite. There's one more I really like that's escaping me right now. I really wouldn't call The Lost Boys horror. Maybe teeny bop type horror. That's also one of my favorite films, period, hands down. Horror movies. Yeah, those are my like top 3. There is one more. Like, I liked Insidious. I thought that was cool. It's escaping me, but yeah, Exorcist 1 and 3 and Jacob's Ladder are my favorite. Top 3 horror games. I thought Silent Hill 2 was excellent. Silent Hill 3, so much so that, and I've mentioned this before, I played like a lot of the Silent Hill games back to back a couple of years ago, and I would have nightmares and dream about crazy shit chasing me. I mean, that permeated my subconscious to a degree. The darkness really wasn't horror. And Deadly Premonition is excellent, but it's kind of like David Lynch mixed with cheesy horror. It's not really horror, even though it's meant to be survival horror. But that's one of my favorites too. Deadly Premonition, definitely. Punky J, your tats are badass, dude. I guess I've just asked boring stuff like, how many you have and which ones mean the most to you? Also, why are you so awesome? And I guess that's just a universal mystery. Well, thank you, Jay. Jay has been getting a lot of shit lately for his semi-troll, goofy videos about why he likes console gaming better than PC. Jay's a funny guy and he's very nice, but he's opinionated like all of us are, and he tends to rub some people wrong, so his videos lately have been pissing people off. How many do I have? I don't know. I have both arms, my chest, my stomach, like the breadbasket area, both sides of my legs, not my thigh, but my calves. My foot. I think that's it. So I mean, I have a good amount. My favorite is probably my gorilla. I don't know if you can see very well with the hair, but that's my Planet of the Apes homage. So I love Planet of the Apes. That's one of my favorite films. So I call him Urko as a joke, and that's probably my favorite tattoo. One of them. Evan D asks, black or white socks? I actually hate black socks. I have to wear them to work every day, dress socks, and they annoy the shit out of me, and I slip all over the fucking place when I get home, and something about them is just, I don't know, they just bother me. And some of my friends wear thick socks, like that are meant for like, whatever, just normal wear, and they're black, and those bother me too. I don't know why, black socks just irk me, so white socks. Seatman says, congratulations, which Sonic CD soundtrack do you prefer, US or Japanese? I think it's the American one, right? The one with Sonic Boom. That one's cool. Seatman I met on another video and left a comment or a joke or something, and then he started commenting, and his icon is a picture of Knuckles, so I kept calling him Knuckles, and then he started checking out my videos. So Seat Man, probably the American version. My buddy Dean asks, his name is Vinny Corleone62, check out his channel. Congrats on the milestone, brother. One question, what aspect of the new Fury Road did you dig the most, and what made the film special to you? What I didn't dig was the feminist overtone with Charlize Theron and the lack of screen time and focal point for Tom Hardy, excuse me, Matt Hardy's a wrestler. But I did dig the fucking full-blown action. It was like from start to finish, didn't stop. There was a very small lull near like the middle to end. Everything else is crazy. Everything looked dirty and grimy. It totally encapsulated what I felt was like the Road Warrior. So I really liked Fury Road, minus the whole feminist thing. It just made it special for me because reboots and remakes usually don't work for me. Planet of the Apes did, Dread did. That's about it. I thought Total Recall was bad. I thought RoboCop was bad. You know, it's like they're running out of fucking ideas. So that movie did it for me. That was like awesome. Savoni asks, if you found someone permanently shrunk down to the size of a bug, what would you do with them? I try to, I guess, take them in and help them. Depending on who the person was. I mean, if they're strangers, it's someone who looks like they're gonna, I guess you can't really rob my house if you're a bug, but if you're like ant strength, you might be able to. Would you keep them against their will or let them go outside and defend themselves? I mean, I'd try to help them, I guess, or see what happened. I guess he said, what would they see you as, and vice versa. I mean, I guess I'd see them as someone who's stuck in a shitty situation that I'd be trying to help. Unless they were like hurting me or trying to sting me or something, then I'd probably squash them. Probably the only time you can get away with murder without anyone finding anything. What if the person you found was someone you disliked? Disliked, I'd probably still help them. Hated, like a bad person that's like wronged me in life, I'd probably let them fend for themselves, to be completely honest. I'm not much of a, I forgive, I tend not to forget, so, well, I might not forgive much either. So, I hold grudges, so yeah, I probably wouldn't help them. What would you say to them, and what if they tried to run away or hurt you? If they tried to hurt me, like I said, I'd probably let them go, let them fend for themselves, or hurt them back if I had to. Yeah, I mean, it's a funny, that's a weird question, you know? I mean, I usually don't get such deep things or things that are so thought-provoking. If you grew into a 100-foot tall giant, what would you do? Would you cause havoc? It depends. If I was gonna stay like that forever, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go all King Kong and then fucking get killed. The first thing I think is I'd probably somehow make money off of it so I wouldn't have to work again. Because what can you really do when you're 800 feet tall besides like move buildings? Or no, not 800 feet tall, 100 feet tall, excuse me. You know, if I knew I was going to shrink back down after a while, I probably would try not to cause too much destruction or mayhem because I would fucking have to pay for it afterwards. What would you do if you accidentally stepped on one when you were someone if you were 100 feet tall? I'd probably feel pretty horrible unless it was the bug that I disliked. And what if the military started firing at you? I guess at that point I'd defend myself. I wouldn't let them kill me, a la King Kong. Next question. Shenmuso, why has the world giving up on Bernie Sanders already? He's not technically out of the race, but goddamn those corrupt superdelegates. Will we never have a non-sociopath in the White House? This question is not for me, buddy. I really dislike Bernie Sanders. If I were to fall on the political scale, I'd be somewhere between conservative, Republican, and libertarian. I am not a fan of socialism. I am not a fan of Bernie Sanders. I'm not a fan of Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I don't like Bernie Sanders, so can't help you there. What other dark corners of YouTube do you frequent other than the gaming community? Usually things about movies. I'm trying to think of what else. YouTube. Sometimes how to fix things or build things, like computer type stuff. Recently I had, don't tell anyone. Recently I had put Exodus on my Fire Stick, so I was learning how to do that. yeah, I guess that's really pretty much movies and games. I mean, I don't think I have much else out there in terms of YouTube subscriptions. So, and then his last question is, do you even lift? And he wrote, that's a joke question. You blatantly lift. I work out 3 days a week. I was doing 4 days a week for a long time. Not a long time, but a while. I started when I was going through my divorce because it was difficult and I wanted something to kind of expend some energy. But I still do it. I want to, stay in some form of shape besides round. And yeah, it feels good. When you get done with it, you feel like you did something and your body feels good. So I do 3 days a week. Nothing crazy, nothing too heavy. But I do want to, like I said, stay in some kind of fit shape. His last question is, do you go to music festivals? If so, tell us a story from one. If not, what is wrong with you go to a festival? I've never been to a festival. I've been to a lot of concerts. I told the story recently in my last video about the Rollins Band Black Flag tribute concert I went to with my friend making out with that girl that looked like she was from the 80s. And I told some stories about Typo Negative. I'm trying to think of anything funny in terms of concerts. I saw Ghost. That was my last concert. That was really good. I love Ghost. Ghost is one of my favorite bands, to go back to one of the previous questions. But I saw Ghost. They were really good. It was crowded. They put on a really good stage show. Festivals? No. I mean, I tend not to like that cramped-in feeling of a lot of people around me. So if it gets too nutty, or if there's like people around drinking and doing drugs and getting kind of silly, I tend to get kind of turned off. Yeah. Sorry, Ben, if those weren't really the best answers. Gary Irwin, my buddy Gary. No questions, just congratulations. Well, thank you, Gary. Sega of my house, Anthony. I'm sure you answered this a million times, but what made you originally want to start collecting for the Sega CD? And did you start off with a mindset of getting a full set, or it just kind of happened? I started collecting when I was about 12 or 13. My two friends, Nikki and Nikki, both had Sega CDs. I loved the games. I thought they were so cool. They had a retro feel to them. I thought the full motion video was amazing and groundbreaking. I still do. I love games like that. I love full motion video. And I was like, I want to collect for this. And then it just turned into, I'm going to fucking buy everything I find. So whether it had been going to KB and finding like kids on site, or going on eBay and buying a big lot, keeping half and selling half that I had already, whatever it may be. But it's just a really unique, console / add-on. And I feel like it just doesn't get the love it deserves. Same goes with the 3DO, which plugs into the future. But yeah, I started when I was about 12 or 13. I probably finished when I was about 18, which is pretty good for someone who didn't I worked, but you make like minimum wage when you're young. So next question is Ryan Airzon, world champ. He always does that in his videos. He's like, he punches the air and then he makes a muscle. Congrats and stuff. My question is, have you ever played the Sega CD version of Desert Bus? And if so, how long did you last? Desert Bus is a mini game on the Penn and Teller unreleased video game Smoke and Mirrors on the Sega CD. It is a test of patience. All it is you driving a bus. You have to hold the D-pad, and if you don't, you swerve off the road and hit something, and then you get towed all the way back in real time. The game takes some absurd amount of time to beat, like, 12 hours, and all you have to do is hold the button to not go off the road. And all you see is the view in front of you and like a little air freshener spinning on the mirror. I haven't gotten far in it. It's one of those games I was like, okay, I get it's a joke, and it's there to test your patience, and once you get to the end, you get 1 point, and then you get to drive all the way back in real time. But I don't have that kind of time to kill, so I didn't really ever get far in it. Joshua Redden asks, is there a story behind your nickname Vampire Mike, or is it something you just came up with for YouTube? Congratulations on 3,000 subs. Thanks, Josh. So, Vampire Mike was a nickname I got from the tattoo shop I go to and help my friend at, Tattoo Frenzy. Shout out. I started going there when I was 18, and I would stop by and hang out with the guys and bullshit and bring coffee and talk to them. And after a while, they would say, oh, Mike's stopping by, he's stopping for coffee, who wants? And they'd say, Mike who? And it was Vampire Mike, because I love the Lost Boys, I love vampire movies, I have a couple vampire tattoos. She's a vampire chick, I have another vampire chick on my other leg. It's Chastity from Chaos Comics. So It's stuck. I use it, and I still get called it sometimes on occasion. There's this woman at work who goes, "Yo, Vamp!" She yells down the hallway at me, which is funny, because it's even followed me into my career at this point. Thank you for the question. Saturn memories. I suppose I'll have to go back and find those GameStop videos. Anyway, congratulations on hitting 3,500 subs. I'll reply with a question later if I can think of one. Well, thank you very much. He didn't reply back, so no worries. Ty H, question for your Q&A. How was your day? Pretty good. It's Sunday, the 5th of June, 2016. Woke up, didn't sleep so great. Played Overwatch a bit and watched a silly Cyberpunk movie. So today I was a little out of it, kind of nauseous. Had some espresso, trained a little bit, put X-Men on a few minutes ago, but paused it to do this video. I'm feeling pretty good, just had some lunch. Thanks for asking. You? Let's see, arcade games. Excuse me, asks, what arcade game do you remember playing a lot that sticks out in your mind? It would probably be like the Ninja Turtles arcade game and Pit Fighter. Also the X-Men one and Simpsons arcade games. We had a Home Depot in I don't remember where it was, if it was in Long Island, I don't remember. I think it was in the Bronx, and my brother and I, when we were little, used to play Ninja Turtles and Pit Fighter there, and they just stuck out. I don't know, there's something really cool about them, and just a nice memory of, you know, my parents are shopping for stuff for their house or whatever, and I would be playing arcade games with my brother Joe, so just, that's really a Pit Fighter and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I guess. Kzilla689. I don't know, I'm kind of buzzed at the moment right now. My question is, what is your favorite food? Even though I can fuck up a meatball parm. Sushi. Sushi's my favorite when it's done really well and it's very fresh. I love sushi. I also love Chinese food. Yeah, those are my favorites. I like Asian food, I guess. Thai food is okay. Vietnamese food is okay. I prefer sushi and Chinese once in a while too. 9/11 Gamer. Can you show us your favorite game magazine or guide? A bizarre question, but it would be interesting to see. I actually didn't really read most of the questions before I did the video, so I'm sorry. I didn't bring anything with me. You know what guide came in handy? The Omicron, the Nomad Soul guide. I picked that up when I was playing the game on the Dreamcast a few years back, because it is a little bit difficult. And I used that guide, and that kind of holds a special place for me because, you know, most people don't use guides anymore. So I used the guide, and I thought it was pretty cool to go back. It kind of felt like I was thrown back into the past with this old game I always wanted to beat but never had. So I'd probably say Omicron, the Nomad Soul. In terms of magazines, I always liked Sega Visions, and I have a nice stack of them upstairs in my loft. Andrew Advent, why don't you have your Obama poster behind you in your videos anymore? Another person I'm not a fan of. The picture they are referring to is actually up there now, you can't see it. It's a picture of Keanu Reeves from Johnny Mnemonic, like a promotional shot, drawing, with like a card and like a little thing with information on it. So now we have Planet of the Apes signatures here with Charlton Heston and a bunch of other people, Nova and Roddy McDowell, who I loved. So Kim Hunter and the Planet of the Apes TV series with the signatures of Ron Harper and James Naughton, and Vernon Wells from The Road Warrior, his autograph. Today's a good day to die. Yeah, I always get jokes from Mr. Tuco40 about having a Obama poster behind me. Believe me, it's not. I promise. Don't like him. Trumu asks, what do you think about No Man's Sky? I'm super hyped. I actually didn't know a lot about it. I did look it up after I did look at some of these questions. Like I said, I skimmed through them, and it looked alright. Then they delayed it and someone gave them a death threat, so hopefully that's not you. So I don't have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox One, so I didn't really focus on it. I tend not to focus on games I know I can't play, which is why I'm trying not to focus on Street Fighter, whatever, 5, 6, or King of Fighters, because I probably won't be able to play them because I don't have a PlayStation. Clay Crazy asks, Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles? Clay Crazy is my buddy Julie. Julie and her husband Jason had met. This is a story I told a long time ago. They had met because I was playing Quake Online and befriended him when I was about 13 or 14, in that vein, 15. And he was friends with her, and I befriended her, and he had this huge crush on her, and she had this huge crush on him, and they wouldn't tell each other because they were nervous. and I kind of intervened, and now they're married. So I always pound myself on the back for that, because I think that was a good thing I did in life, as long as they stay happy forever. Gamboa writes, my question is, have you played the Yakuza series, and if so, what do you think of it? The Yakuza series has always been on PlayStation, so I actually haven't had a chance to play any of them, though I hear they are sort of like spiritual successors to Shenmue, which sucks because I would love to play it. But no, I had a Japanese import version on the PSP, and I never played it, and then I sold all my PSP's collection off because it was just taking up a lot of room, and I had like hundreds and hundreds of games for it. Travis Berman from Retro Gaming Alliance. Did you do anything to start following? Wait, did you do anything to start a following on YouTube? No, the GameStop videos blew up for some reason, but I guess people just like to hear about crazy bullshit. Otherwise, no, I just kind of do it for fun when the mood strikes. You know, I feel like if it's going to become a job or something that I'm getting annoyed over, or if like, oh, I got to make time to do this, then I won't do it. So that's really it. I just do it, you know, when the mood strikes. Neo Turbo Maniac. He was actually at a retro convention I went to recently, and we missed each other. So I'm hoping he goes to Eternal Con, which I'll be at on June 11th, Saturday. If he goes, please say hello. Congratulations on getting to 3,000. 3,500 is right around the corner. Outside of your interest in gaming and movies, what kind of videos do you like to watch on YouTube? As I said, like sometimes, yeah, video games and movies, really. Sometimes I'll watch something stupid like iDubbbz or Smooth McGroove or whatever, but that's also video game related. Interviews, things about like B movies and cult movies. Interviews with Chopper Reed, concerts, you know, music videos and shit, stuff like that. Nothing I don't think too out there, to be completely honest. Adam Korlick said no question, but congratulations. Thank you, Adam, buddy of mine. Black Metal Gamer asked, what new IP would you trade to bring back an old IP? I'd trade a lot of these fucking new IPs to bring back old ones. Shenmue would have been my first choice, but we're getting that now, or at least I'm not, because I don't have a PlayStation, but you're getting it. I would really like a new Road Rash. I think Road Rash is a cool game that could be really fun online. A new Earthbound would be cool. Chrono Trigger, but like Chrono Trigger, maybe HD port or remake or something. Because Chrono Cross I didn't really love. And I didn't play any of the Earthbound sequels, though I should have. I think, what else? That's really it. I hope they continue with the Darkness series. I don't know. I try not to get my hopes up too much, because I watch videos and trailers sometimes, and then like a game comes out and I'm like, yeah, you know. Overwatch is really good. I like that new IP a lot, actually. It really grew on me. I'm having a lot of fun with Overwatch. That, and it reminds me of Shadowrun on 360, so I really enjoy it. Novabug writes, did winning YouTuber of the month for the month of May change your life? No. Was it May or April? Shit. I think it was April. Yes. That was really cool, winning YouTuber of the month. I was very, very happy. Thank you again to everyone who voted. I thought it was cool, man. I like, you know, the community we have and how we can all get together and talk about things and have differences of opinion and hopefully get along still, unlike someone who shall not be named who gave me shit recently on Facebook for saying if somebody broke into my house, I would attack them. He told me that I was a savage, or we were savages in the United States, and that we all have guns and we're all like whatever, and then he started asking my political opinion, which had nothing to do with the matter, and that most people who break into your house just want to steal things. They don't want to hurt you. Well, I'm not going to wait for my girlfriend, my family, if I had kids or anything to get hurt, raped, or murdered because I should listen to you saying, oh, well, they just want to steal something. I'm not going to fucking let them steal something either. They're going to get buckshot to the probably chest or face. So, I don't give a fuck. But, sorry about that tirade. But, yeah, I like this community overall. I think I get along with most people. And, yeah, it was really cool to be a part of that, you know? Definitely, helped me and hopefully helped your channel as well. Have you ever been to the UK? No, I haven't been. If so, what did you think? And if not, what would you like to visit and what for? I actually have like yourself, I have a ton of people, from the UK that I'm friends with on YouTube, so I would love to visit all my YouTube friends. I love movies like Snatch, that's one of my favorite movies, and Revolver, and you know, mostly what Guy Ritchie puts out. So, I catch a breath here. So yeah, I would just like to take in the scenes and, like, you know, see all this stuff and talk to the YouTubers that I'm friends with, go to an expo maybe, because I'm jealous you guys all fucking hang out and get together and I'm not there. And then he wrote, well done, all the best. Thank you very much. On a retro tip, Pete, he wrote, congrats Mike, my question is, do you like Dags? Which is funny because I just mentioned Guy Ritchie and that's a quote from Snatch. Yes, I like Dags, it's for me, man. I reckon the air gets fucked. Proper fucked? Hydro F Baby asks, hey Mike, I'm just curious to know which borough you're from. I've lived in Staten Island and Brooklyn my whole life. I'm from Long Island now. I'm originally from the Bronx. I moved out here when I was about 13. And yeah, I've been here since and I like it. It's pretty even, kind of quiet. People say there's a lot of junkies out here, but I think that's any area you go to. And you know, you tend to have more of a middle class or lower middle class out here. So, you know, kids with money and they're bored and they smoke crack. So there you go. Or heroin is the big thing. James Rioas, congrats bro, keep it up. Thank you, James. Down to the last 3 questions, guys. So sorry this video was kind of long. Hopefully you enjoyed some of it. minml.games, congrats. What is one thing you always wanted to do but you probably never would? Jeez. I don't know, I'm not one for like crazy shit like stunts and things. Like, I wouldn't jump out of a plane, I hate heights. I wouldn't bungee jump or skydive or anything like that. I guess I'm telling you things I wouldn't do. I don't know, I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think, you know, day-to-day stuff and being happy, being with my girlfriend, playing a video game, watching a movie, things like that mean a lot to me. Conversation, you know, having a cup of coffee with people and talking. So I don't know, I guess always want to do, probably meet like some celebrities I really like, you know. Terry Gilliam, he's the director of Brazil, which is one of my favorite movies. He also did Zero Theorem, which is one of my favorite films. I'd probably like to meet him. Guy Ritchie would be cool. Keanu Reeves, I love Keanu Reeves, maybe something with him, you know, just something like that. I'm pretty low-key, so just having dinner or a cup of coffee, just bullshitting for a few minutes would just mean a lot to me. You know, I met Vernon Wells, that was really cool. I'd like to meet Tommy Wiseau from The Room fame. Hey Mike, to Mike, may all your dreams come true. Love, Tommy Wiseau. That would be kind of cool. You know, maybe at the end of the year he has a showing in the city and he's going to be there to talk to people, so maybe I will meet him. Thank you for the question. Oddpot asks, what was your favorite toys when you were a kid? Take a breath, talking too fast. Oddpot has a great channel, by the way. Talks a lot about retro toys and action figures and stuff, so very pertinent question there, and very apropos, I should say. And he was also nominated for YouTuber of the Month for April. Forgive me if that's wrong. But favorites were probably the Ninja Turtles. I also liked, for some reason, the Toxic Avenger toys. I remember I was a big fan of the wrestling figures and G.I. Joes. Then I got older and I lined my G.I. Joes up and shot them with my BB gun, and it would embed in them and their plastic chests would explode, and I always felt bad about that now, because that was a waste of a cool toy, you know? I was kind of an ass when I was a kid, I guess, for doing that. Transformers were really cool. I had that big friggin' Optimus Prime. So, probably those are probably some of my favorite memories from having toys when I was a kid. I would like kind of buy obscure stuff too, that just maybe He-Man, He-Man wasn't obscure, but like certain movies and shows that like had toys, but like they weren't the biggest like thing. And finally, Professor Peculiar, who has been a great, you know, commenter and kind person lately with all of his questions and interaction with me. Excuse me. I have a question, and this is the last question of the video, guys, so I promise we'll stop in a minute. I have a question. Why are your videos so good? Well, Professor, thank you very much. I don't know if they're that good. I just, like I said, I do it for fun, and if people want to hang out and check it out and they feel like it's a buddy sitting on the couch or sitting in their dining room where I am and chatting with them, then I guess I got my point across. I like the kind of nonchalant, community-driven aspect of it, I should say. And also, what is your first game console? My first one was an original Nintendo, the Nintendo Entertainment System, and I would rent games all the time. And we had a video store down the block from my house in the Bronx that is no longer there, I believe. I don't think there's any video stores around really, except FYE, who just buys and sells shit. But I like them. Kind of a nice feeling to go into a store and rent something or buy something still. You don't get that much anymore. That's why I buy online from Go Hastings a lot. I like perusing things and buying them, and not a huge fan of streaming. So yeah, thank you very, very much everyone for all your questions. I hope I gave you some pretty in-depth answers. Trying to think if there's anything else I could throw in there. I'll name some of my favorite movies in case people were wondering. Chopper, Brazil, The Lost Boys, Revolver, Snatch, Zero Theorem, Planet of the Apes, The Road Warrior. I do love Johnny Mnemonic in The Matrix. The Warriors. Bad Lieutenant's really good, the original one. The one with Nicolas Cage was pretty good, but no, the one with Harvey Keitel is really good. It's fucked up though. Yeah, those are some of my favorite movies. The Goonies, not that you asked, but Jacob's Ladder, The Exorcist 1 and 3. So, that's it guys. Thank you very much to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everyone for asking your questions. Hopefully you found some of the answers interesting or amusing, and if not, then I don't know what to tell you. And yeah, keep at me and keep checking out my videos if you want. Whatever. Thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.